Hello, 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 everybody. Yes, amazing. Thank you all for braving the apocalypse to be here tonight. I am so honored to have you here with me. Your dedication is phenomenal. I am Rob Arnold. I'm the executive director of Poets House. And how many of you have been to Poets House? Give it up. Yeah, applause. What are we? We're not in school. You get to applause. If you haven't been there, Poets House is a space of possibility. It's a space of connection, a space dedicated to the imagination. And it's one of those rare spaces, particularly in this city, that is entirely cost optional. We exist solely to connect people with the relentless humanity that is the art of poetry. And we do that through our educational programs, through our library, which has over 100,000 volumes of poetry, and of course through amazing public events like tonight's. So do visit if you have not visited, and if you have, I hope you come back. We are just down the road. Events like tonight remind us that there are no boundaries between the arts, and especially between music and poetry, which I think are branches of the same tree. I grew up in a house without books, and so my first exposure to poetry came through song and through song lyrics. And I'm sure I'm not alone. We have an incredible event tonight. I'm so grateful to these amazing artists for lending their voices to this evening. I'm grateful to my colleagues at Poets House. Give it up for my colleagues at Poets House. For making this dream of an event a reality, and I'm grateful to our partners at Battery Park City Authority. Yes, give it up for Battery Park City Authority, who not only maintain this amazing park, but they provide material support for so many of our amazing events and programs, including tonight's. And they are also the reason that we have our space here in Battery Park City. They literally put the house in Poets House. So thank you, BPCA. And now we're going to hear from Rayanne Makati, the Assistant Director of Community Partnerships and Public Art at Battery Park City Authority. Give it up for Rayanne.
Thank you so much, Rob. I can always count on you to give me an effusive welcome. And welcome to all of you. Welcome to Wagner Park. We're so excited to have you here today. As Rob said, I especially thank you for braving this dystopian weather that we're having. And it's actually really relevant to why Wagner Park looks the way it does and why we've built Wagner Park to support these types of public programs in this way. Many of you may know that Wagner Park was only opened less than a year ago, or reopened, I should say, because we are undergoing a major construction project in order to protect Lower Manhattan from the consequences of climate change, which I'm sure we're all feeling today. So I also want to have a hand for the BPCA staff that have been working so hard on producing these protective elements that we have around us in this park. Now, before I hand it off to our host for tonight, I also just want to mention a couple of logistics things. As we've mentioned, it's very hot. Please feel free to go up to the info booth and pick up a free fan if you haven't already. I promise you it helps. It's great. While you're up there, make sure to buy a book from one of the poets tonight or a piece of Poets House merchandise. It goes a long way to support them. We love having them here in the neighborhood. We love all of their programs. So please make sure to visit the tent and make a purchase, pick up a free fan, pick up a program for the rest of our free summer programming. And if you need to use the restroom or anything like that, that'll be in the building behind you, in the rear of the building under the archway. And with that, I do want to hand it off to our amazing friends at Poets House. Our program associate, Maria Lisa, who will be your host for tonight, and will be introducing all of the poets and musicians today. Thank you.
Thanks, Rayanne. Hello, everyone. Hola a todos, alito ilpoca. Welcome to our second summer nights of the season here at Wagner Park. How is everyone feeling tonight? Yay! Can we hear another cheer from the audience? Woo! My name is Maria Schmidt, and I'm a programs associate at Poets House, and I am very, very excited to be your host for tonight. Just like Rob said, Poets House is a free poetry library, and we are about 20 minutes away from Wagner Park. So whether you're looking for a place to read, write, or simply spend some quiet time, we'd love to welcome you anytime. And if you'd like to learn more about Poets House and what we do, the programs, and the library, please stop by the tent in the back and say hello to my wonderful colleagues, Subin and Leo. I can see them. Ah! And yes, again, a huge thank you to Battery Park City Authority for welcoming us back to this beautiful space. Isn't this an amazing space to be at today? It's perfect for what we're doing, poetry and music. And tonight we have an extraordinary lineup. And I'm honored to introduce 3 artists whose work I deeply admire. Our first performer is Samantha Crain. Yes. Samantha Crain is a Choctaw singer, songwriter, poet, producer, and musician from Oklahoma. She's a 3-time Native American Music Award winner and winner of an Indigenous Music Award. Her genre-spanning discography has been critically acclaimed by media outlets such as Rolling Stone, Spin, Paste, No Depression, NPR, The Guardian, NME, Uncut, and others. So, I've been listening to Samantha's music on my commute home from Poets House, and I must say that it has become into a kind of companion. Her songs make room for every emotion. They ground me in the present and remind me that joy, grief, tenderness, and hope can all coexist. And to me, Samantha's voice feels as comforting as wool on a cold, stormy night, yet as expansive and refreshing as a melody arriving from somewhere you've never been before. And yeah, we are incredibly lucky to have caught Samantha during her East Coast summer tour. She's already here, but please give her a very warm welcome.
That's how it goes, my little Mickey Fender. Rob you when they kick you, when you're out like a light. I know it's happening, and everybody's wondering where their little light is. And everybody's wondering where their little light is. Something, Bloomsday's coming. Open up the doors and have a goddamn beer. And the baker, the butcher, the charioteer, the palm readers and Salem the engineer. And everybody's wondering where their little light is. And everybody's wondering where their little light is. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm just making do with wax and pride. And everybody's wondering where their little light is. And everybody's wondering where their little light is. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
Thank you. I paid him to do that at the end of the song, so I'm glad that worked out. This next song I'm gonna play is well, first I'll ask, has anybody seen the TV show Reservation Dogs? So Sterling Harjo, who created that show, is a friend of mine. We've been friends since we were kids, and so every once in a while, if he's working on a project that I feel like I have something for, I'll send it to him. And when I was writing this song, I think I had just had like a verse, really, and I made a little phone recording of it. And it was while they were still making new episodes of Reservation Dogs. And I sent him this phone recording, and I just said, hey, I think this could be cool for the show. Let me know what you think. And he texted me back, and he said, yeah, we'll put it in the next episode. And I had to text him back and say, well, this is just a phone recording, and I'm not finished writing it yet. And he just wrote back and said, no, this is good. We'll just use this. So there's a phone recording of this song in the show.
All that precious time to love. Loving is my purpose. I am all around you, slackening my limbs and wishing that I was just the sea. Something that you long for. I'm a boat. I'm a boat, and you are the water. I'm a boat, I'm a boat, and you are the water. Just a Neptune baby, and I move in with all the grace of Inspector Clouseau, spoiling the moment. I'm a drop of oil, pushing at your sides, and then we mixed our dirty clothes. I thought it was is a symbol. I am a boat, I am a boat, and you are the water. I am a boat, I am a boat, and you are the water. And you are the water. And you are the water. Thank you. With your crooked tooth and a messed up joke, your wandering knees and a green raincoat, moved to this town of fantasy, where I know you so little that I know everything. And is it any wonder I've become preoccupied? Is it any wonder I love you more all the time? I've been sleeping here in a dream world, my own Elysian fields. But I can't even look hard into your eyes. You're a perfect stranger in the light. And is it any wonder I've become preoccupied? Is it any wonder I love you more all the time, like a dart towards the moon? It will fall, come short too soon. It's enough just to throw. I was closer some time ago. Is it any wonder I've become preoccupied? And is it any wonder I love you more? I love you more. And is it any wonder I've become preoccupied? Is it
I'm gonna sing a song for y'all in the Choctaw language, which is my native language, and basically this song is I wrote this song about the land in southeastern Oklahoma on the Choctaw Reservation that me and my brother and cousins and aunts and uncles and grandparents for many generations grew up on. And about 10 years ago, that place had to be sold for various reasons, and I wanted to make sort of an ode to this place that had held our family for so long. And as I was sort of writing it, it sort of occurred to me that I should probably be singing it in the language that my ancestors would have been speaking when they came there to make that place for my family. So if you don't speak Choctaw, that is okay. I just wanted to kind of give you some background on it so you'd know what I was singing about. I had a concussion like a month ago, and so I forget chord progression sometimes. So now I have to have notes today. So.
Show me to my heart, stokli mi aksi to kom, okle ilu bachke. Jak ni netana, iba chufo shokle, ili laya chonli tuk. Happy vio. Je t'exchin d'okle, il était bon et tout. Jak ni netana, iba chufo j'okle, il est là, chon et tout. Ethiopia, je t'exchin d'okle, il était bon et tout. California, Oklahoma, Apeachekeo.
Thank you.
Sounds like there's a roller coaster, like, behind me. They're having a great time.
If when I call out your name, I know you hate me for it. Stronger than a spider web in fall, it's all you're living for these days. Think of all the times you were a mess, I guess you hate me for it. That's when I'm my best, I will confess, but now resentment's boarded it's all the same, my cherry plum, I pony up. We run away from everyone we love. You can't persuade me, buttercup, that I'll do right by you. I know the little girl was scared to rest. I wish the threat was over. You're my favorite crumbling cassette. We all will wear down and decay. It's all the same, my cherry plum, I pony up. We run away from everyone we love. You can't persuade me that I'll do right by you. It's all the same, my cherry plum, I pony up. We run away from everyone we love. You can't persuade me, buttercup, that I'll do right by you. It's all the same, my cherry plum, I pony up. We run away from everyone we love. You can't persuade me, buttercup, that I'll do right by you.
Thank you. I feel like that honk wasn't out of tune. It was like kind of in the right key. Thank you to Poets House for having me out. I'm going to play one more song for y'all. So I'm from Oklahoma, and in Oklahoma there's a town called Elk City, and if you're not up on your 1970s and 80s oil and gas history, you might not have heard of this place. But it was an oil boom town back then, and so a lot of young people moved there to try to get jobs in the oil field. And I was passing through there once, and I met this woman at a bar and grill, and she just started telling me her entire life story. And she had come to the town during this oil boom and had sort of been abandoned by the people she came there with, and had just had, over the years, had kind of a rough life. And as I was leaving, I got back in my car, and I couldn't get her out of my head, and so I sort of wrote down as much of it as I could remember of her story. And then when I got to where I was going, I pulled my guitar out of the case, and it was in this specific tuning because I was trying to learn this song that I really liked called 1952 Vincent Black Lightning, which is a Richard Thompson song that I really like. I never learned it because he's got like 14 fingers or something, but I used the tuning from that song and wrote this song about this woman's life.
Get me out of this town, get me out of this dream.
Is that really boomy? Should I cut some of that up here? I can.
Get me out of this town, get me out of this dream. I've been drinking away all my money. See, I was 17 when I came to this place, in a boyfriend's coal wagon on the 40 interstate. He told me we'd be rich, get on at the GHK company, at the Anadarko Basin's where you wanted to be. We pitched a tent in the park, it's all we could do. Were no rooms anywhere, I hope that job will come through. He said, just one more night, can you give it one more night? turned to bust. Didn't say where he went, never told any of us. And I almost moved to Dallas with my best friend Kathleen. But I met a guy at the Longhorn, he said he could fix my washing machine. How's tomorrow night? Yeah, tomorrow night. Well, that night turned into 9 months sitting on my ass. I was waiting on a baby, my first and my last. And she's all grown up now, got into college and everything. So she beat her mama out of that town, out of Elk City. I can only do one more night, just one more night. Can only stand one more night, just one more night. I can only do one more night, just one more night.
Thank y'all.
All right. Thank you so much, Samantha. Can we please give it up one more time for Samantha Crain? That was such a gift. And now, moving on with our evening, it is my absolute pleasure to introduce an artist who gives me goosebumps every time I see her perform, and continues to inspire me as a poet and an artist. Yaissa Jiménez. Yeah. Yaissa is a Dominican poet and performer and the winner of Copa America Abya Yala. Her debut collection, Ritual Papaya, draws from Afro-Dominican spiritual traditions, Black freedom movements, and the vibrant living culture of her neighborhood in Santo Domingo. Her work has been presented at MoMA, the Puerto Rico Book Fair, and on stages across the diaspora. Yaissa has reminded me time after time that poetry doesn't only exist on the page. It also lives on the stage and in the courage to stand before people and say, "This is me, I am here, and I'm not going away." Así que, gracias, Yaissa, por recordarme que existimos en nuestra lengua, aunque estemos lejos de casa, nuestro país también vive en la palabra. Please, join me in welcoming Yaissa Jiménez.
¿Cómo están? How are you all? How you been feeling? It's nice. Okay, let's start the evening taking conscious about some blessings. The first blessing we have with us today is our neck. Feeling it? This is sustaining your head. This is a blessing. Another blessing I want us to acknowledge. So legs. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah. Let me take this off. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Fits. Head. Oh, you listen to that? Whoa. My name is Yaissa Jiménez. Thank you, Cam, for this amazing, amazing introduction. As a poet, I have the pleasure to been writing poetry since I was 6 years old. So this intimidad with this art, this kind of intimacy, this kind of, I don't know. I was thinking about it recently and I wrote a poem about it. I work in Dominican Spanish because I respect the way I met the poetry and poetry met me. It was in Dominican Spanish. And I want to invite everyone here to, even if you don't understand, you're gonna feel in it, I'm pretty sure. So first, I know the air is not the best to recognize that right now, but just take not a deep breath, please, not a deep one, just a little slow. Counting 1, 2. This place, el cuerpo poético, my poetical body. I think poetry gave me this opportunity. The concept of poetical body is defined as the amount of poems you got in your career. But for me, poetry create a whole body with this physical body, with my spiritual body, with my intellectual body. So this poetical body make me feel perfect. In this place, I can do literally whatever I want, whenever I want. And it's a place of pure freedom. En mi cuerpo poético ando tranquila. Ningún hombre le chifla, ni vigila, ni vacila su descaro. Les seduce hasta la dignidad. Ella no teme por su vida en la avenida. En mi carne poética a ella le tengo fe, amor, constancia, urgencia. Hemos pasado por tantas sequías y yo temiendo perderle. Hemos pasado por tanto ardor y ella piel de agua viva. Hemos pasado por tanto y yo temiendo su disolución de la mía. ¿Tú te imaginas? Olvidarme de mi valentía y no besarla nunca más. Ni un poema más sobre lo que sé y lo que siento y me duele. Ni una palabra más sobre lo que me hierve, toca y me disuelve. Ni un verso más en mi boca sobre lo que me ha pasado y sigue pasando factura en este cuerpo prestado que la poesía me ocupa. Gracias a todo lo bueno. Ha sido cuna, camarote, cama, colchón, base sin patas, flotando a la ras del suelo, sábana, rope, bostezo, canto, respuesta, pregunta, consuelo, y todo lo que cae de este mal llamado suelo, cielo donde me creó y me crió la letra sin ley. El único espacio, lugar y tiempo en el que me considero ciudadana en pleno derecho. En esta carne poética soy una galaxia de gloria sensual, sexual, erótica y perfecta. Ata con lagaña en los ojos, con baba goteando de un sueño profundo, hermosa de la A a la Z, preciosa en toda la extensión de mis grasas, mapeando los nuevos lugares que están en mi cuerpo poético, gestándose gracias al gusto del tiempo. Como carne poética envejezco, adorablemente endiablada en mi carne poética. Me froto sobre cada mal sabor. Desde mi cuerpo poético me subo a escenarios, desde su ancla puedo organizar mi voz, desde su altura me permite volar tranquilamente con una voz latente que bien podría llegar al sol, con una voz presente que quiere hacer un hueco en la tierra y gritar hasta su centro, para bailar con la piedra suelta, encendida y feliz. Con una voz en este cuerpo poético que quiere ser constantemente la más alta de mi multitud. Ashe. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, who's bleeding right now? Hey, who else? Yay, we're bleeding. We need a paycheck every month, people, for that, please. People with uterus, we have to unionize or something, and we need a paycheck every month just to do that. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Recently, no, 2 years ago. Okay, this is gonna be a little depressing, but later we're gonna poop. Okay. Yeah. I almost died. 2 years ago, fibroids, uterinos, fibromas uterinos in Spanish. Fibroids almost killed me. The medical system in the United States. Yes, they almost killed me. And I bleed nonstop for almost 100 something days. Yeah. And I remember myself during those days. And by the way, I finished a book because of that. That was not an intention. But the pain was that big. And the abundance of pain in that moment create a book. And this is the first poem. It was me walking on the streets of New York, bleeding, like basically understanding my body, losing all the iron possible, losing iron. Thanks to my ancestors, I'm okay right now. Thank you for the ancestral medicine, I'm okay right now. Thanks to the seeds, I'm okay right now. And thanks to the Korean medicine, I'm okay right now. I remember those days, yo me acordaba de que tengo 45 días, tengo 67 días, tengo 78 días, tengo 90 días sangrando ininterrumpidamente, sangrando, goteando, llorando, drenando, rajada y abierta. Sangrando, goteando, llorando, drenando, rajada y abierta. Y esto, queride, no es una sajá, ni una puñalada, ni un dolor. Es una vaina desde adentro. En esta negociación de plasma, estoy suelta además en la tinta de una remolacha que hizo carpa en mi espalda. No sé si lo que suelto es sangre o naranja roja, melaza o vija. No tengo ni idea de qué tanto hierro ha venido a comer a la carpa de esta amiga remolacha que encontró cobijo en el centro de mi altar. 4 y 5, 98, ya no sé cuántos días. Desnuda en la calle, días en que aún vestida todo se ve. Mis lágrimas se ven aunque no esté llorando. Mi llanto se escucha aunque no grite. Mi risa apaga la ciudad. Mi música se cuela, el tronar de mis dedos desarma la calle. Y si paro de caminar, todo frena y choca. Un agua viva, transparente y roja en un lugar que no es el mar, es la ciudad. Es el centro que no centra ni ajusta. Es la urbe sellada que no le hace caso a ningún orillá. Es la maceta y cada árbol aquí está triste, cubriendo 2 jornadas sin descansos, horas extra, que no comprende, que yo no comprendo. Así. Muchas gracias. You know, I'm gonna become 40 this year, September. Yeah, already. And I've been having a lot of realizations and like information during this path through September. And I've been recognizing a lot of blessings in the middle of this chaos. I'm an immigrant, so the terror and the sadness and the deep confusion right now, and I'm a black woman, and the terror and the deep confusion right now, and everything around us is really, I have to be honest, we have a disaster right now. And it's big. And it's complicated. And I want to invite to everyone to really trying to touch what you got in your hands and what you can control. I remember myself crying a lot of time in the city. And once, one picture of me when I was a kid, and I put this picture with another picture someone took for me recently, and I recognize I have the same smile. The same smile. And I make a poem about it because why not? So those are the things I can control. I can control how I see myself. I can control how I describe myself. I can control how this country make me feel like a person who came here to do something not good. All those feelings I recognize are not true, but my smile is a true, because it's beautiful. Es hermosa, bella, 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 bella. Desde las esquinas de mi boca, que quieren tocar mis orejas, naturalmente se siente el alivio carnoso de mis labios hinchándose de placer. Y no sé qué hacer. ¿Cómo bregar con tantos destellos de a buen tiempo bailando pegado con la ráfaga amarilla que me sale por ganarle la muela perdida, una batalla perdida a la ciudad de Nueva York? Vamos a repetir eso. Let's repeat that. ¿Cómo bregar con tantos destellos de a buen tiempo, bailando pegado con la ráfaga amarilla que me sale de la muela perdida por ganarle una batalla a la ciudad de Nueva York? Tuve dientes de sal, nunca de leche. Y mi primera mordida fue a un deseo, a una palabra específica y secreta escondida en un rincón del Caribe que literalmente no tiene nombre. Si la descuido se me va sola, se me escapa y se me sumerge por ahí y no vuelve hasta que yo le abra la puerta al sentimiento. Si la descuido se me desbarata, se me derrite en el aire. Por tanto, mi sonrisa es bien ñoña. Le gusta que al asistir al espectáculo de su presencia, todo el mundo entienda lo invaluable de su hermoso meneo. Cuando la portadora de esta sonrisa la saca a pasear de felicidad, 7 hadas, 3 iguapas y un vaca, renuncian y se vuelven gente, gente presente que me sonríe para atrás. Ay, vida santa y hermosa y completa, cuídame esta sonrisa y cuídame a mí. Déjame bailar con su vida a tu ritmo, con su poder y con la intuición fina de saberla, el regalo. Ashe. You know, a thing I love about Dominican Republic and working Dominican Spanish, it's the way, how you can translate mandar a la mierda? Send to hell, send to hell. It's not that strong as Spanish. In Spanish, mandar a la mierda, I think is better. Yeah, send to hell. I know how the women in my country, we in the hood, I'm from a hood, San Lorenzo de los Negros, Mina. It's a black, amazing, vibrant neighborhood, which I love. This place make me feel all the time like everybody was a poet. I think every Dominican is a poet. I have to be honest. I think every Dominican is a poet because we really create versos all the time. And I love Dominican women anger. I love that. It's so poetical. So I create a poem specifically. Imagine myself in one of the galerías in my house, there in Los Mina, and embracing the power of a Dominican woman, mandándote al diablo, sending you to the hell. So, that's cute. Bolo, tú nunca quisiste mis callos, ni mi ombligo después de parir. Nunca me besaste la pisada, desgraciado. Le faltaste el respeto a mi sombra, Bolo. Tú nunca me prendiste una vela. Bolo, nosotros no somos de arena, no, señor. Usted es cemento y lo sabe. Mira, pegajoso, maluntao, atrevido, regueretoso, y usted lo sabe. Sabe que si ve mojao, coño, viene terco y se pega yo. Yo soy una mujer limpia y con plomo. Señor, usted y yo no comemos en la misma mesa, caballo, coño, Dios mío. Bolo, ¿tú crees que te llevaste mi nombre y te comiste un cable porque solito voló de nuevo a mi pecho y usted voló del diablo? No me robó el apellido de mi ma y yo contigo saco de sal. Nunca firmé nada. Aquí no hay tinta que me ajuste a tu desgracia. Así. ¿Cómo estamos de tiempo? Okay. Okay, I have to choose this last poem, and I want to really recognize the importance of this poem. I know it's in Spanish. I know everybody don't understand every word I'm saying. I know my English is not the best, but I want to try to translate a little bit the moment I create this poem because it was a moment I recognized ancestrality as something you have to create in life. I was always thinking about ancestors and all of this, and I recognize how they talk to us in different ways, but I recognize too how ancestrality is something practical. You have to leave your ancestral shadow path. I don't know how to translate it, but the name of the poem is the ancestral path I've constructed in life. If we don't understand how ancestrality works, now alive is the way. Every time you have a book from someone who write this book long time ago. This is ancestrality working in practice. I want to invite to everybody to recognize your ancestors, how they work, how they talk to you, in what ways, and recognize the ancestral path I constructed in life. Los caminos ancestrales se construyen en vida. Another detail. This is about my mom. When I was a child, my mom used to tell us when she found the house a total mess. And she used to say, we'd say, Mommy, what are we gonna do? It's, la casa. She said, don't do nothing. No haga nada. Don't do nothing. No, don't move. And she said that angry because obviously everybody have to help her in the house, every one of the kids. And she said that, and now with the mess, the world's a mess, I said, no hagan nada. If you ask me if you can do something, no hagas nada. No te muevas. Mira, deja que las injusticias se te resbalen por el cuerpo y mira solo por tu propio bienestar. No muevas la mano, ni un dedo. Deja la palma limpia. Exfolia con cal cada levantamiento, corazas de rebelión. Chupen la lágrima. Saquen los dientes. Y como caballo pónganse solo para lo suyo. Y mueran un día. Y vuélvanse ancestres. Ideas viejas que en el éter ahora comprenden la razón del dolor universal. Y no podrán comunicar eso, ¿no, Señor? No habrá legado de amor que les conecte con la voluntad viva. Llorarán eternamente el vacío que dejaron en esa carne sin aliento. Vacía les quedará la voz ancestral. Hundida la palabra que no utilizaron para las prójimas. Acabada la escucha de quienes te quedan aquí, comiendo, bebiendo, siendo, no tendrán guía invisible, porque tú, con tu indiferencia al dolor de esta tierra, demoliste la fuente que les llevará a beber de la vida completa. Así. Muchas gracias. Thank you very much. Thank you so much to Poets House for this amazing opportunity. For real, look at you don't gonna cry? You don't wanna cry with this song? Look at this. Oh my God, so beautiful. Thank you so much, for real.
Can we please give it up one more time for Yaissa Jiménez? Woo! Do we still have room for more poetry? Amazing. I am very happy to hear that because it's now my honor to introduce one of New York City's most beloved poets, Eileen Myles. Woo! Cutwolf Eileen Myles is a poet, novelist, and art journalist whose practice of vernacular first-person writing has made them one of the most recognized writers of their generation. Pathetic Literature, which they edited, came out in fall of 22. A Working Life, their newest collection of poems, is out now. They live in New York and in Marfa, Texas. The first time I saw Eileen read, I had just arrived in New York City from Mexico. I wasn't very familiar with contemporary US poetry, especially the work of poets who examine and challenge the systems of oppression that have shaped this country since its founding. Their poetry opened a new door for me. It showed me the transformative power of looking honestly at oneself with humor, authenticity, and wit. An approach that is at once empowering, deeply moving, and profoundly human. So, without anything further, please join me in welcoming the one and only Eileen Myles.
Thank you. That was great. And you guys, Samantha and Yaissa, amazing. Those are really great performances. So when you were like, do you have room for more poetry? It could have been, no! So I'm glad that you guys said, yay. So what am I have some new stuff, but I do have, it's like my newest book is an old book, which is, it's sort of it's a reissue of three little skinny books that came out in the 70s and 80s that have been out of print. But the most fun part of it is this is a long poem called Bird Watching that I wrote when I was 28, and it's like 78 pages long, and I wrote it all summer, and it's like, am I straight? Am I gay? Am I an alcoholic? It's just, and very, just kept writing it all summer, and so I read it one night in 1980 at St. Mark's Church, and then nobody ever saw it again. So it's really fun that it's here in this book. So maybe I'm gonna start with a little bit of that from the past, just a couple of pages. I, Eileen Myles, am a 28-year-old poet living in New York City in 1978. It is a comparatively boring period in history, though perhaps I'm not looking. A church bell clangs outside my window. It is raining and approximately it's 5 o'clock. I'm in love with about 3 people right now, all women, and I'm unlucky in that sort of thing, which must be true, otherwise I'd have to consider myself a fuck-up. I write about myself all the time, which makes me sort of a narcissistic asshole, but also an admittedly ignorant sort, so to appear less ignorant, do not venture beyond my own parameter. Also, if I keep this place safe, plus truthful and simply mine. I love that sound. That's so great. I feel like I'm not reading alone up here. If I keep that place safe, truthful, and simply mine, I assume I can go wherever I want and not fear getting lost. I could lie my ass off for pleasure, profit, and entertainment, and I would not really want anything else, that is, to keep, which should make my living easier, which is my motto. Also, it's nice to write only about yourself since it evokes the narcissism of others, which I love, where their charm lies. And also, when I depart from this place, I can really see that tree. Henry Miller is my favorite writer. Gertrude Stein is my second favorite writer. I love the Everly Brothers, Cole Porter, and extremely violent rock and roll. I worry constantly about being too butch, though I'm completely sure it's the one thing I'm not. I'd rather be a journalist. I should have been a painter. I have absolutely no musical ability, and I don't mind. I'm sure I have a beautiful singing voice, but I'm much too self-conscious for singing, sports, photographs, reception lines, dates, making out in public except when I'm completely loaded, though I'd love to be in a skin flick or even do it in a play. I drink excessively and love it, though I make a fool out of myself pretty often. I have no fear of alcoholism since too many people in my family died of it. I would either kill myself in a sophisticated manner or actually stop drinking. Cocaine is the only drug so far I truly love. I'm not rich enough and too lazy to get that rich except by accident. I solemnly believe in accidents. My father was a handsome, green-eyed guy who adored me, and I'm still not sure whether I liked him. He irritated me with all that attention. My mother was a very physical dream woman who I adored and felt she constantly ignored me. I would have done anything for attention. I was the extrovert around the house, though outside I was an introvert, but my family never knew that. It would have disappointed them. My brother and sister tended to have best friends and enduring friendships and boyfriends and girlfriends, but I always hung out with a crowd. Plus lots of private conferences with special people, like parking or blitzkrieg sex or sex with friends. I am an ex-Catholic, which is just as real a thing as a Catholic, perhaps more so. Like an incurable disease you haven't realized you have yet. I hope to spend my waning years, when I'm about 90, painting vast watercolors by the sea. But I also love the idea of suicide. For me, suicide is the perfect expression of a controlled existence. You can't control existence. That's where beauty comes in. But if life isn't beautiful, you should check out politely. There never was a reason to continue, nothing abstract anyhow. And I'm not ambitious, though I am greedy, but greed gets ugly, so no beauty. I will not continue to play ball. It is one of the few things I know. I'm going to stop right there. So that's Eileen and their Saturn return. And so these guys are new. And I sort of know, I know my first poem and I know my last poem for sure. And this one's called Feeder. And I sort of have to spoil it with a story, which is that about, I don't know, 2 years ago, these guys approached me who were doing they could be here. It's kind of incredible. They were publishing a book of AI poems. Like it was a whole book that AI wrote. And Little Brown was publishing it. And they were getting more money for that book than any poet I've ever heard of, including Billy Collins. It was just like, it. And so they contacted me and said, we're asking a few poets, would you like to read this book and tell us what you think of it? And I was like, I'm not even going to answer this email, But then all these weird things happened. Like I had a dog, and my dog had to have surgery. Oh, first of all, okay, I have a car, and I was going to drive to Texas, and I got in the car to move it, doing alternate parking, and the car wouldn't start. It's a Prius, and the car said, go to your dealer, go to your dealer. So I had the car towed and went to the dealer, and they were like, it was right after the pandemic, and rats had eaten all the soy wires in my Prius. And so it was just like they had been living there all winter long. So I had no car, and then my dog needed surgery, so I had to, they gave me a rental to take the dog to Hoboken. Anyway, and so somehow taking the dog to Hoboken to have the surgery, my car got towed. And so then I had the enormous, and so someplace in there I thought, okay, if these guys will just give me pay my pay the tow ticket, I will read your stupid book. And I said, and then cash. And they were like, okay, but can we say in the introduction that we did that? And I said, sure, fine. So this is, I have ruined the poem, but I think the poem still works. So this is that poem. And it's called, I think it's going to be the title of my next book, which is going to be called Feeder. So, Feeder. The embodiment of the poet is the point, and that's why it's okay for you to pay my parking ticket, and especially to pay it in cash. Not because of the cute anecdote about the car and the rats and the rental and the dog surgery and parking in front of the hydrant and getting towed and getting a ticket for that, and you paid it. I will pay the ticket on my computer, but I will buy food with your cash. It's why nobody likes to support poetry. They'll just use it to pay their rent, which is right. Survival is my art. A violent act it is. Right? And there were dogs here earlier. I don't see them anymore. But I'm going to read a couple of tiny dog love poems. Thank you. So this one, I think it's called While Peeing. I like your life. I hear the triangular nylabone clatter to the floor, and I love how you hesitate. Did that really happen? Then leap down to pick it back up. The bed hits your stomach as you land, and you pull yourself up the last 3 inches and resume chewing in the sun. Thank you. And this, there was a dog. I found a dog was found on Avenue D. My friend called me, and she was like, "We found this dog. I've got to go teach. Would you just take this dog until tonight?" And of course, you know, I live with this dog now for several years. So this is the dog. The dog has poems in her. I have to get them out. The dog has jewels in her head. The dog has peed on the bed. It is my favorite place in the world, like a tree with no glasses, like a cemetery with snow. Arlington's ponds have frozen at last. I had dinner with you. I drank tea with Gertie. The dog did not know me yet. May I sleep? Yes, she purred. So now we just go into by now I have 3 dogs now, and so this is a poem in which there's like 16 legs, 2 of which are mine, and it's called 2026. The South African meeting is like a moon. It doesn't happen at the same time. Something moves. It's slippery, Sharon seemed to say. I rub my feet like a bug in bed. It's funny, I haven't felt desire lately, felt myself reciting an ancient poem about having dinner alone at 6. That's what I wanted for my birthday. I don't know where to be in February. I'm like that moon. I'm dying to end this notebook that's practically named after you. He came barging in protection of her from me. She was wondering where I'll be, like some intention to love me if I could only have a schedule. Song. We 4 men of 14 legs live in a house that could easily have a painted sign outside that said love. I came in and scrubbed the floor of your crate, and 8 legs piled in. I thought, that's cute. That's 2025. I pointed out the Van Gogh print I clipped in Cambridge at Schoenhof's that followed my mother around in her life like a moon, and she died with it over her head. We screamed, fish eggs, in the morning when she innovated, perhaps with powdered milk, cutting corners. I spend so much money on water, I decide to cut out TV. Is that what you call shows? The scurrilous services? Only movies, but Home Alone I never watch, I only read. 8 legs don't read, 2 legs do, crinkling arms covered in tattoos. Do you love me? I extended my paws so we could only hear music. I love my men. I play with them. What if I just put a long pause in a poem, like celibacy? I had some sex in 2025. Then I counted. Who counts sex? God? God is good. That was a very nice pause. 4 legs has more of a horn than a snore. I know she will die, and I hope I am here when it happens. I was the sole attendant of both my parents' deaths. You could say I was blessed. 2 legs bless themselves in words, all of us, hands, legs, and ears, like a sunny day. 4 legs are deaf. 4 legs wants only food. Today I thought I could feed her more. Her horn plays duh. Could you hear leaking in a house? That's where all the water goes. Sound. Light is like Jupiter there, Sirius there, and that's Orion. Yes, Bill confirmed. I'm not worried. There's plenty. Stars, sex, legs, pause, time. In the city, you can buy Jell-O and little pre-made cups. You have to make it here in the country, so naturally there's no Jell-O. I think I made it once. It was sad. It was just too much. The beat of her horn, my sounds I won't recite. You know, this next poem I used to read a lot a couple of years ago, and And weirdly, I published it a lot in Europe, but I never published it in this country. And I guess I could have published it, but I kept sending it to the, it's a long poem, and it's not that long, but I mean, I felt like it was a big deal poem, so somebody great should publish it. And all the somebody greats were like, I'm not sure how we feel about this. So it's sort of never been published in America, which is kind of weird. So it's called Them, Palestinian. They had beds and rooms, they had socks and babies, they had fire, they had a toilet, they had a book, they had school, they had mustaches and cunts and bellies, they had feet and toenails and arguments and friends. They had hot soup, they had hunger, laughter, pain, cell phones, they had kids. They missed each other, they came home. I'm not sure about this, but he was killed in his house with his family. I tie my shoes. Going to the gym through this horrific experience, I'm bringing my recyclables down. Contacting people, they try every few minutes to call people from Gaza. My toe hurts. I struck it against the edge of a chair in Tempe. Many medical journals write about genocide in Gaza and think, it's okay. I have nothing for the baby, I randomly sob. We're not seeing the support from the medical community. They ignore the calls. They don't say, Israel. He has died. They don't say, he has been killed. I can't find my headphones or the band for the clamshell. I make tea tossing cards into an imaginary future in which my handwriting and my political thoughts are considered. This is prose. War is prose. The coldness of my pastimes is poetry, my safety. The what has been torn away from my fellow, my neighbors, my friends, is Palestine, is poetry. Poetry is home and the loss of it being robbed from a child. Or the children of the Nakba who 75 years later, an old man walking south, it's rubble, home, streaming, tears are home. The black corner of the New Yorker under the comforter, I meditate with building in a corner of his raincoat. The gentle sway of the trees out my window like anime, Attack on Titan. The cute kid swaying hair, I think movement, that's Japanese. Am I Japanese? Am I Palestinian? Thousands and thousands of round yellow and green leaves chattering. Seeing a little bloody baby being carried. The journalist who lost his entire family, my friend, the terrorist. Shot in their car with his 3 little girls. They bombed my mother. They bombed me. Her gold hoodie, her little mouth opening and closing. The change is quick, but revolution will take a while. I'm still in my pajamas. I'm so comfortable. Woo! Home. It doesn't say, like the other one said beast. That black one that was going really fast. You saw that? That was like, you guys, you so suck, I'm so comfortable, home. Scar. I mean, I have to say, it's so obvious, but I wrote this because I felt like it was so incompatible to keep looking at my phone and then keep doing my stuff, It felt like, how does one live in this split screen? Scarves wrapped on lamps, nothing disturbed, too full, too much tea, eggs, what else can I eat? Or disturbed by not being hungry. 2 brothers chatting as they're rolled. The photograph is lit. Electricity, thank God. Thank Allah. Thanks. And this one is a short, deeply fucked up poem that I kind of love. For one thing, Lee Miller, the great photographer, there were 2 really terrible movies made about her. And I saw both of them at this moment when it just seemed like violence was everywhere. So this is called New Truth. I saw Lee Miller standing in Hitler's bathroom. Now, shoot her in the head, shoot her in the heart, kill the child who did it, kill everyone. You're like, maybe, I don't know. A little love called Goat Office. I went to the post office. I put on different shoes. You're walking on different stone. I look at your name. How can that be a name? Beautiful, northern, strange, walks but keeping you in my pocket somehow. You could warm bread in me, all this love I've got. I think I can't tell about time, but I guess I'm getting close to the end. Is somebody know? Do you think 5 minutes? 5 minutes, that feels right. Okay, cool. Okay, so this is kind of poetry bitching, but I think it's a good one. It's called Some Options. So let me get this straight. You don't want to publish good poems anymore. You want to publish bad poems. I see what you're doing. I'm writing in these broad gray lines because I see the uncanny, and that's what you don't like. You don't like that I laugh at you. What do we call the symbol that means at? Because I'm using it a lot in my poetry, and you don't like that. You don't like that I write about doing drugs, and I didn't until this moment. I took a pill, half a pill, really to help me sleep. But instead, I'm writing this. There goes my handwriting, my spelling, the whole thing. I'm going to turn the light out. If there's more to say tomorrow, I'll say it then. It's not two yet. That's not a line, that's a thought. Someone offered me gum the other night, but she didn't give it to me. She thought I was busy, and I was. But I missed the chewing moment, truly. What is this? A night? A day? A night and a day and a morning? Drink my tea and be somebody different? Speak a different language? Love somebody different? Live in a different city? Die and live someplace different altogether? Before the mystery, we have this. Kind of a great one, right? Yeah. Okay, a couple of short. Okay. When you say all your flowers, when you pick up your horn, please say Gaza. I fucked up. I did a thing at MoMA Tuesday night, and I was so wrapped up in whether I was being smart enough, I forgot to say Palestine, and I still feel horrible. I feel like in this time, I just feel like at the very least to always bring it into the room seems the least I can do. Okay, I'm just going to, I have one. This is my most favorite new poem. It's like my newest poem, and I'm very excited about it. So I'm ending with this deal, and it's called The Work. It's an inspirational poem. Apparently, people who worship gnomes really get in a lot of trouble. He asks for a little chocolate cake, and you think, I can do that. You start getting a lot of money, and your kids drive fast cars. Eventually, the fat gnome wants your grandchild for his wife. You must quickly throw him off the bridge into a river, but it might be too late. I think the reason people from galaxies far, far away don't want to talk to us is they can see where we're going, or the gnome already ate their kid. Bleeding from my eyes, tired, I drive home. Every time you think something would make a good TV show, write a poem. Yay. Thank you. Hey, I want to say one thing before I go, which is, do you see that bright blue building over there? That's Governor's Island, and Governor's Island is the largest, most piece of open space in all the boroughs in New York City. And more people from more zip codes in New York go there, families, couples, single people, people on bikes. It's sort of like everybody, especially people who don't have places in the Hamptons, they go to Governor's Island. And one of the horrible things, that blue building is the beginning of the end, because people have been trying really hard to not develop Governor's Island. And weirdly, the woman she's like, it's so horrible. Her name is Alicia something, and she's the head of the Governor's Island Trust. And she says, it's a really nice piece of real estate. And so they're starting, that's low. What they want to do is twice as tall as that. They want to develop the whole, this side of it, and it's just the beginning. It's going to be gone. It's a whole piece of green space. There's a farm there. There's so much. I mean, if you've never been to Governor's Island, take the ferry ride over there. It's one of the absolute wonderful experiences of being a New York resident. So I feel like the hope is that horrible, shitty blue building is shocking enough in itself that the city council will go over there and see that because it's only going to get worse, that this can't go beyond this point right here. So I don't know if you know your city councilor, tell them you don't want. And there's a group called Magic, which is and just look up Governor's Island and Magic, MAGIC, and you can read all about it. But it's just like, I don't know, I think we get to fight these things, and we, it's like land back. This is our space, and it shouldn't be developed. So thank you so much.
Can we please give Eileen Myles another big round of applause? That was fantastic. Thank you so much, Eileen. Okay, so before we close with a surprise, do not pay attention to what's happening on my left side. I'd like to share a quote by the indigenous linguist from Oaxaca, Mexico, Yasnaya Elena Aguilar. She originally wrote this in Mije, that is her indigenous language. And she also speaks Spanish, and she translated this quote, or her own books. She also translates them into Spanish. So I'll read the Spanish quote, and then I'll translate it for you. And it says, aprender muchas lenguas es construirle múltiples hogares al pensamiento. To learn many languages is to build many homes for thought. And it's an amazing quote. And by the way, Yasnaya's books are also translated into English, so I highly recommend her writing. She is a really powerful source of inspiration, and just super worth your time. So this idea, this quote, I love it because I think poetry, music, and art do something similar to what Yasnaya is saying. Every time we encounter a song, a poem, or a story from another language, from another place, or another way of seeing the world, we make our inner home a little bit larger. And we make room for someone else's universe, and in doing so, we also discover new parts from ourselves. So tonight, these extraordinary artists invited us into their worlds, and all of you helped simply by being here and listening so generously. So thank you all. You've been an amazing audience, and thank you again to Samantha Crain, Yaissa Jiménez, Eileen Myles for such a stunning and powerful performance. Yes, and give yourselves also a really, really big round of applause. You're ready? Okay, so now I'll leave you with Samantha Crain again.
On the growing age of what I know is a deep old bitter snow. Over where the sun comes out is a song that keeps me waking up. Somehow keeps me waking up. Singer in a crowded room, I'm always gonna sing for you. I wouldn't know what else to do. Singer in a crowded room. Repeated dreams in a four-wall world. Park County called return. An orphan now, the winter burns. I sweat through the only cure. Park County call return. Singer in a crowded room, I'm always gonna sing for you. I wouldn't know what else to do. Singer in a crowded room, singer in a crowded room. Toil forever in love. Toil forever and ever enough. Singer in a crowded room, I'm always gonna sing for you. I'm always gonna sing for you. I'm always gonna sing for you. Singer in a crowded room, I'm always gonna sing for you. I wouldn't know what else to do. Singer in a crowded room, singer in a crowded room.
Thank you. I'll play one more for y'all.
Joey, why don't you come around and see me? Got plenty of room now that I live alone. Last time I saw you, you were walking in the meadow. Your face was sweaty and your outfit was gone. I don't mind if you spill your wine like you used to. I know it's different, but we'll figure it out. Sometimes I feel like my memories never happened. Could you remind me, take me back for a night? Was it ever real? I don't even feel like that girl anymore. Was it heavenly? I don't even see through those eyes anymore. 100 small deaths, 100 before. I am a revolving door. I am a revolving door. Joey, I'm working at a shop down on Main Street. It pays the bills and keeps my head screwed on tight. But I feel afraid 'cause we were never for staying. So narrow, so straight, and unwilling to fight. Was it ever real? I don't even feel like that girl anymore. Was it heavenly? I don't even see through those eyes anymore. 100 small deaths, 100 before. I am a revolving door. I am a revolving door. So what is time but a thief among men? Just stay robber who moves on out of you. Forget the time, it's a watery friend. It moves on and it still rains as it wants to. Joey, I need you more than ever before now. You are the gentle only key to my past. I want to reminisce, remember my springtime. I can rewind, but I need you to play back.
Thank y'all. Have a good night.
Thanks again, Samantha. And yes, another big round of applause for our amazing artists. Thank you so much to everyone who made it this far. Yes, big applause. And yeah, just some housekeeping things. Yes, please do stay in touch with Poets House. We are about to announce our fall programs. And we have many wonderful readings, conversations, workshops coming up. So please sign up to our newsletter if you haven't yet. And if you are free on August 21st, we'd love to see you again here at Wagner Park for our final summer nights of the season, featuring Safi El Hilo, Jenny Shie, and Nadine El Rubi. Yes, an amazing lineup again. Please don't miss it. You're welcome to hang out in the tent. We do have merch, books, and Poets House goodies for sale. So please take a look at that. And if you have any questions about Poets House, just talk to me or to any Poets House staff. Thank you so much for your attendance. You were an amazing crowd.